So there we go. We're finally live. What's going on? And welcome back, everybody, from a long hiatus. I hope you all had a stellar Christmas break, stellar New Year's. Welcome to the first live stream of 2026. We've got a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, a lot of big plans for the year. Hope you guys do as well. One thing that is not going to change, we're going to be here twice a week, bringing you the latest and greatest on M&A, OTC, market updates, charts, news, and all the best that we have to offer from this wild world of Web3 and crypto, especially as we continue to move forward this year with the mainstream adoption of crypto. We are definitely continuing to see the trend that really kicked off last year with institutional adoption in the US, institutional adoption all around the world. We still have some regions like you Euro fudders still fighting the glorious industry that is blockchain and crypto, but for the most part, we're seeing some amazing adoption around the world. More and more big companies, Visa, Walmart, banks all around the world, all taking steps to integrate blockchain, Web3, crypto, whatever we're calling it these days, into their everyday ongoings. Very, very soon, we're going to reach that convergence point like we've talked about, where real adoption happens when, like cell phones, like social media, things can operate in the background. People have native interfaces that they are familiar with and can use and don't need to know what's going on. They don't need to know how to use blockchain or what the benefits of it are, or that they're even using blockchain. And we're very, very quickly approaching that point as we see, banks, major financial institutions, even social media apps like X, et cetera, all adopting blockchain technology. So, all right, I'm done rambling. That's our intro for today. What's up, everybody? Welcome, Jan. We are missing Andrew today. He might join us a little bit later for some charts. But how's your break? How are you feeling for 2026? Obviously,
there's no break. There's no break in crypto. I got fat, but other than that, I feel good. I do agree. This is going to be the year when crypto adoption will be skyrocketing. I do agree that there's more and more TradFi companies coming into this place. And also, I think M&A will be huge. Like medium-sized businesses out there, we're definitely looking at you. And if you look at the crypto markets, they're a little bit green. I don't know what's happening here.
I think we're starting to see that what we've been predicting in 2026. 2026 is going to give us the proof we finally need to put the nail in the coffin of the 4-year cycle. I think we're starting to see maybe the beginnings of that happening as rate cuts continue to take effect, as we start to see QE, the benefits of QT stopping, QT starting, as we start this election cycle in 2026. I think all the positive behind the scenes catalysts that we've been talking about for weeks, months even now are starting to slowly take effect. I think we got a long ways to go. There's going to be some more turbulence over the next few weeks and months here, but good signs to come for a continued bull cycle here in 2026, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, like if you look at December, it was very negative, and especially after October 10, things were quite dire. But I see some light in the funnel. Look at me, I can't even talk today. But yeah, like BTC actually looks very good.
Yeah, I think even a lot of people just got bored and stopped watching the markets. CT's been pretty quiet the last few weeks here, but the diehards out there, even some of the bears have started to flip, saying, okay, maybe we're starting to see the opportunity for a continued cycle in 2026. The rate cuts, however, in January, we can pull that here up and I'll show you real quick here. Not looking great. People still betting hardcore against an increase. Only 10%, 25 basis point increase. Only 1% for 50%. 50 basis point decrease. No change, and 90%. So the vast majority of people saying no go in January. Now, however, I think that's due to a number of statements that have been made by Powell JP here. But we got a big couple of weeks coming up. So the FOMC in January is not till the end of the month here on the 29th. Between now and then, all these numbers, we're going to see these rates, I would imagine, flop around quite a bit. I would guess we start to see 25 basis points start to increase. Now's a really good time if you want to get in on some buys here. $20 makes you 200. Nice quick 10x. on the 25 basis point decrease. $20 on the 1% here, over $3,000. So to me, those are pretty good odds. I'm willing to risk $40 for those two there. I do think we get a rate cut in January, and I think again these odds are going to quickly change as we start to get some of these numbers for the year coming in. We're going to have later this week. We've got job openings. We've got manufacturing PMI. Next week we have, this week, initial jobless claims, non-farm payroll, unemployment rate, all coming up here within the next couple of days. CPI is coming in here, PPI next week. So over the next couple of weeks, I think we're going to have a much clearer picture of what's going to be happening with these rate cuts. So if you are a betting man and you like to bet on the rate cuts, I think these rates are going to change drastically in the next couple of weeks as we start to see those come out. So if you want to get your bets in, now's the time to do it while you're still getting a clean 10x on the potential rate cuts there. If you wait till next week, I'd imagine these numbers might be a little more closer to 50-50 or even flip back in the 25 basis point decrease factor there. But rate cuts are going to play a big factor in seeing what Bitcoin does the rest of the month. I don't know what else you had here that you wanted to cover on your side.
I think overall ETH and BTC, they look pretty strong here. I think Andrew has said the same thing. Like, we're starting to bottom out here. We had double bottoms coming out, and we are finally seeing some light in the tunnel. I don't know if you bought ETH, but I did at 3K, and I actually bought Aster. So basically what's happening with Trump at the moment and with World Liberty Finance is that there's going to be a new USD1 coming out, and the rumors are that BSC chain is going to implement that. And if that comes true, like it did with Solana, I think Aster, as the biggest DEX perp, is going to skyrocket in volume, and that's why I took the position. I don't know, Nathan, have you bought anything lately? But at least these three, BTC, ETH, and Aster, I've been looking at.
Yeah, my bags are my biggest DCAs are still the same: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink. I definitely did pick up a little bit of Ethereum while it was down around 3K. I think even got some under 3K. Bitcoin, same, bought a little bit over the holidays here. Chainlinks, again, just buying a little bit, a little DCA here, a little DCA there. Don't have a ton of cash though. Well, spent a little extra around the Christmas holidays doing some traveling, buying some gifts for the nieces and nephews and family and friends and things like that. So shared a little with others instead of DCA and myself over the holidays here. But going to continue that same plan Q1 here, get as much more ETH, Bitcoin, and Chainlink as I can. I do have a few other kind of degen plays that I continue to look at. Some of the trends we've talked about before. I still like some AI plays. There's still some of the alternative chains. I know Pulse Chain is pretty hated, but I've been involved in the Pulse Chain ecosystem a bit over the last year. Saw some big gains actually just this last week. There's been some stuff going on over there. Had one of my bigger plays over there do about what did they jump up? They've jumped up almost a 10x over the last couple of weeks here. So getting some love on Pulse Chain, which is great to see. But yeah, overall, I'm not getting too crazy, not getting too creative, really focused on the M&A scene right now. That's where there's a ton of action happening. We do have one announcement here. We'll have our official posts going up across X and LinkedIn here shortly, but XYRO, a client of ours. Oh, I guess I'm not sharing, am I? Let me go ahead and pop that up here. Big news here. We XYRO officially closing and selling to an undisclosed buyer. The buyer has requested to remain anonymous. We're not releasing that, but we can announce XYRO as one of our sell side clients. We help these guys with sell-side advisory from start to finish, introducing them to the buyer that ended up closing with them. We help them with their introduction or putting together content materials, advising them through every step of the way. We have to be careful about what we say from a legal perspective. But overall, great experience working with these guys. Know the team well. I've known them for a long time. Glad we were able to help them get a deal and move on to new ventures for themselves and for the team. Overall, all parties involved very happy with how this deal went down. And it's just in its final stages of handover at this point. But congrats to the XYRO team, the Zero team there on a great journey. They had a great run. They were very hyped raise, I think about almost 2 years ago now. They had one of the most popular and successful Telegram mini games, mini apps for a year or so while that was a big trend. Gave a lot back to their audience, gave a lot back to their community. And now we're able to get an exit here with this acquisition. So congrats to everybody involved on the buy side, on the sell side, and another win in the another one in the win column for Acquire.Fi. So if you guys are out there shopping around, looking as a buyer, looking to pick up strategic assets, whether that's to grow your P&L, whether that's to bring in new users, access new geographies, get new licenses, pick up new tech, to Acquire. We are continuing to expand our Rolodex, our book of sell side options, and same thing on the sell side. If you're looking for a strategic exit, a merger to bring on some new talent, etc., let us know. We are the premier marketplace in Web3 for digital assets. So again, congrats to the XYRO team. I just wanted to give them a shout out here and announce this is the deal that got done just right before Christmas here. So first big win on the books for Acquire.Fi in 2026.
One of many.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think overall, like if you look at the BTC flows at the moment, things are starting to, after December, things are actually started to look pretty positive. I like how we are on the cumulative flow stage. Like we are starting to bottom out and starting to pull out again. Obviously, also Ethereum has been very strong for the past days. You can see on the flow side. But yeah, I do think it's going to be a good year. I'm very positive. Also, if you look at the stable coins market cap is just going up and up and up. We had a little pause, but I think now on January, things are going to heat up. And I actually made an article that I posted out that the stable coin supply is going to surpass 1 trillion supply. So if you look at overall, what's going to happen this year, I'm very bullish on RWAs. I think DeFi is going to grow also. And I think the institutional access to different crypto plays is going to grow and grow and grow. We're maturing, which is good. But yeah, I don't know. How do you feel? I feel we're talking more and more with institutions lately. And it's also what you're seeing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned stable coins. Ethereum just surpassed 8 trillion in Q4, marking a new all-time high for stablecoin transfer volume. So, we are seeing it live and in front of us right before our eyes, the mass institutional adoption, which will eventually lead to retail adoption as well of crypto for a number of things. Obviously, one of the first and foremost, as you mentioned, RWA, stablecoins, still at the forefront of all these talks here. Ton of bullish news on Ethereum. I'm becoming more and more bullish on Ethereum, not just with RWA, but with anything and everything that comes when it comes to that network there. Obviously, stablecoin, they're at the front of that race. RWA, they're playing a big. They're one of the big movers in the RWA space. Huge announcement. I think this is just overall for crypto in general, not just for Ethereum. This is a great milestone for us to have achieved. Grayscale Investments Ethereum staking ETF distributes its first ever passive staking rewards, right? So whatever is that, a little over 8 cents per share for the Ethereum staking ETFs. Huge milestone here. We've gone in what, 2-3 years from being persecuted by the U.S. government to where even any sort of staking platforms were getting sued by the SEC. They were getting sued for tens of millions of dollars, being shut down, essentially made illegal. To now, not only do we have staking platforms, we have actual ETFs and ETFs that are paying dividends on a digital asset, Ethereum here. So massive, not just for Ethereum, but for the industry as a whole, seeing maturity in a number of categories where it matters most to really, again, continue to see this institutional adoption and retail adoption where, 5-10 years from now, it's going to be a part of our daily lives. We'll be using it just like we do the internet today, just like we do our financial systems today, social media, et cetera. Blockchain and Web3 and crypto are going to be inherently built into all of that. And this is a great step in that direction. When we can see an asset that has the appreciative potential of an asset like Ethereum, but can also pay out dividends on top of that, that's where you can really see the potential here for a lot of that money as money market funds, as the M2, as bonds dry up, and that money looks to move into more risk on assets. Ethereum is going to continue to be a prime target because we now have the ability to earn passive rewards on top of the speculative gains there.
Well, basically, also remember, like 5% of the whole supply of Ethereum is now locked in institutional accounts, thanks to ETFs and thanks to the craziness of last year of these DATs, dots.
Absolutely. Where is the other? I had another Ethereum article here. I guess no, sorry, it was a Solana, but relates to it potentially to Ethereum. So some would call this bullish news, and it is bullish news for Solana. I like Solana. It's quick, it's fairly easy to use, but they're really reaching when they're for any sort of use case outside of memes. They really don't have much going on. Kyle Chase trying to make the case here. Almost $1 billion in RWA, real institutional value settled on chain. When you dig into this is almost entirely in tokenized bonds and money market funds, which is great until the bond rates go down, which is going to happen this year, right? As interest rates continue to cut, bond rates are going to continue to plummet. Whether that happens this quarter, next quarter, a year from now, this isn't a long-term potential stable moneymaker or volume driver for Solana, in my opinion. As we're all expecting risk on to take over for things like bonds and money market over the next couple months here. If not, we don't have a bull market, right? Our bull market's over. So if you're betting on there being a bull market, then you're betting on, this bullish indicator for Solana to dry up, or at least to slow down drastically in the coming weeks and months here, as bond rates become less and less attractive to these large investors, like, as he names here, BlackRock, driving a lot of this money here. BlackRock's fund alone accounts for almost for a little over 250 million of this 873 million. I believe Ondo was one of the next big ones there. They have a US dollar backed stable coin that provides yield by them investing in bonds and money market accounts. So why did I bring that up, dovetailing off Ethereum? Well, this is bullish for Ethereum. As these people move out of bonds, they're gonna be looking for new alternatives. Well, if you can have these speculative opportunities on Ethereum, plus now a dividend paying stock, this is another battle that I think Ethereum beats the brakes off of Solana, not just in the short term here in 2026, but in the long run as well. Being able to invest in money markets and bonds via tokenized assets on Solana, Ethereum also has that, and they can replicate it. They can continue to replicate these business models and bring those inflows away from Solana very, very easily. So this to me is not a big differentiator for Solana. Not to trying to be a Solana hater, but I don't see this as a big win in the column for Solana. It's very short term. I think this is, Kyle trying to pump his own bags or getting some money from the Solana Foundation to try and create some hype and drive Solana prices, as they struggled really the last almost year now since memes have slowed down.
Yeah, remember there's huge unlocks this year coming up now. Like the run up to $260 had no unlocks, but now the unlocks are coming, and I don't know. It's gonna be a very hard year for Solana, to be honest.
Yeah, we're just not seeing any real breakthroughs in terms of the technology, in terms of adoption, in terms of new infrastructure for people to come play in. It's just there's memes and that's what Solana's been, and obviously they made a lot of money, did very well with that. But unless memes make a real resurgence, they're kind of grasping at straws. They're behind the 8 ball, trying to catch up to a lot of these other chains. Meanwhile, Ethereum out here just, hitting run after run, getting on base. How much validity there is to this, who knows? But if Ethereum has truly solved the blockchain trilemma, for those of you unfamiliar, it is solving the problem of being able to be decentralized, secure, and high speed, or have scalability all at the same time. Vitalik this week making the announcement that through zero knowledge EVMs and pure DAS, Ethereum can now achieve decentralization, consensus, i.e. security, and high bandwidth, i.e. Scalability, all at the same time. If they have done that, they are the first and only to have done that. The blockchain trilemma, coined as the trilemma because it's supposed to be impossible to do all three. So I am skeptical of this, but if nothing else, put more eyes on Ethereum in a very bullish week for Ethereum with, as we mentioned before, first ETF paying dividends, massive, Q3 all-time highs for transfer volume and stablecoins, on continued adoption across the board. Stripe even now integrating Ethereum. So I'm super bullish on Ethereum. If I had to pick one asset to dump, extra dry powder into, it's still going to continue to be Ethereum. I think we do see a bull run this year, and I think Ethereum, we do see it hit that 10K mark. So nice clean 3x from here still.
Yeah, like I said, I'm very bullish on Ethereum. It's starting to look very good. And obviously, there's so much stable coins and institutional money coming in now.
Yeah, it's I've been a very big critique.
Battle test, guys. It's battle test. And Ethereum has never gone down. Solana has gone down at least 6 times.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's another great point. I've in the past been a big hater on Ethereum, but to their credit, credit where credit is due, they have made a very big 180, and really since they kind of cleaned house, got rid of some of the problem people up in their upper echelon of their management, brought in new people, pulled Vitalik away from the spotlight a little bit, told him to focus on building shit and rather than karaoke and waifus or whatever the hell he was doing. Yeah, they've come a long ways in the last year. I'm very happy with the improvements that they've made. And I think they've gotten back to their core, which is, building, cool shit, building powerful tech, and really being, again, the front runner and the industry leader for altcoins and for L2s, or L1s, and a lot of upgrades on how the L2 is affecting their L1 over the last couple months here. But anyways, bullish on Ethereum. Let's go, baby.
Hell yeah. Very bullish on the market.
Oh shit! We were just about to leave, and now he shows up.
I just came by to say hello, guys. That's it.
Just came by to say hi. Well, I've actually got a call here in about 5 minutes, but no, we've just been going over bullish on Ethereum. Tons of new updates on Ethereum. Everything from stablecoin adoption to getting listed on Stripe, ETFs that are now dividend-paying ETFs, the first of its kind. There. Ooh. Talked a little bit about the rate, the Polygon rates. I think the 25 basis point cut at 10x is super juicy right now.
Yeah, I actually bought those.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of stuff.
I'm all about the 10x's, boys.
Yeah, I need to get in on that as well here. But I don't know what else you guys want to cover. I got a call coming up here in a few minutes, but if you guys have time to stick around and keep rocking and rolling, you're welcome to do so. You want to get time to look at some charts quick, Andrew, or you got
to do some charts. I'll do a quick little run through here. Give me a second. I'll share my screen. There we go. Yeah, we are looking good today. Yeah, I guess the big contrast, before Christmas. Market was looking pretty bleak. I think it was around here where things were looking kind of nasty. But we ended up actually getting our Christmas rally pretty much, and the market held. And we never lost these lows down here. So this original double bottom that we bought is still technically valid, still in action. And then over the break, I noticed that we had pretty much sorry, I get that out of the way. We had another little double bottom come in. And these are all within a reload zone. Momentum still to the upside. We weren't overbought or anything like that. And so I don't know. I just like personally for me, I think the market looks pretty good. Q1 looks decent so far. And then let me see if I can pull up the Jan barometer study here. Give me 1 second. Jan barometer is also pointing up market pretty much until mid-year. So this first little start to the year should be pretty decent. So my old trading teacher usually likes to draw these studies. I'm too lazy to draw them, so I just let him do it. But yeah, strong open, a little bit of back and forth in the beginning, big pump into kind of that middle of the year. So I'm thinking, very bullish for this first half of the year. And then this is kind of like maybe like summertime kind of expectation, nasty, like blah, 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 blah. And then coming back into that fall election, things should technically come back into that year end. So should be interesting to see how this actually pans out.
This time you have to sell on the top. Remember that. Sell on the top.
Yeah,
don't start holding.
I'm thinking March, April.
You're so bearish.
Or if you see any like weekly tops, weekly tops or not. So based on this stuff, like market looks really good in my opinion. Like I've been loading up Bitcoin pretty heavily here. I still have that original position open throughout the break, and so you can see my upside target. It's just simple 2 to 1s, back to these previous highs, and I think if you also look on the weekly chart, we're getting really close to confirming a weekly W. And you know me, I love weekly double bottoms. I personally think when you see these weekly double bottoms, that's like your sign of like, okay, the trend is shifted. We should long. Let's go. Same thing as like, when you see the weekly M's, you probably want to hop off, probably want to chill out. But yeah, like anytime we get these weekly W's, I think it's like a pretty good sign. The fact that we also didn't break these lows yet, this overall uptrend could still technically, be intact. So feeling pretty positive for like start of the year. I might eat my words later and the market just dumps tomorrow, but right now looking pretty decent. And I'm betting on the long side here. So. And the same thing with Ethereum. Ethereum looks great. Ethereum actually has the breakout already. We had the original breakout here, pretty much held through, never actually broke those lows. So kept the position open, actually added more on that W breakout. And here we go. And if this can start rallying higher as well, maybe we can start putting in its weekly W. And once you get those weekly double bottoms, I personally think those are very strong signals to the upside. And, we got structure on the other side of the trend line as well, showing more strength. And so, I don't see any signs of bearish dips yet or overbought conditions. So I think there's still room for this market to run. And, the market's been pretty suppressed for some time now. And these bases have actually been building for like a couple months here now. So yeah, I feel pretty good about how the market looks here. And then you look at the alts, like everything is running. You got the double bottoms, you're against the bottom of the ranges, like, off you go. Obviously, you're probably too late to buy any of these right now, as these prices have already broken out. But it's like the same thing, rinse and repeat, what we talk about. You look at the bottom of the range, you look at momentum, and then you look at structure. Okay? So like, here's an example, right? We got location within the reload zone. You got bullish divergences. You got oversold conditions. And then you get this nice long double bottom. And then, poof, off we go. This one's probably coming into some resistance here soon. But yeah, that's like the simple setup that like consistently use. And I think a lot of things are looking pretty good. So if you're out there in the markets, I think it's a good time to be hunting. If you're already in some trades, great. Probably look into taking profits as we come into targets. But I wouldn't want to chase the market here. So like, I'm not saying to buy stuff today, but if you were able to catch these double bottoms that we had over the break, then things are looking pretty good. So
I gotta bounce here, gents. I'll let you guys keep rolling, but thanks for everybody that tuned in. We'll see you guys back on. We're doing Thursday this week, I believe.
I believe so.
So cool. Later, gents.
Thanks, Nate. But yeah, I mean, overall, like chart wise, like things look really good. I'm looking, feeling very positive. And it's been a while since I felt this kind of level of bullish.
Wow, do you have any tingling?
Tingling? My balls are tingling. Yes.
Yeah.
My balls are tingling very, very hard.
I knew it.
I mean, dude, the market looks good. Like, what can I say? I haven't seen these kind of conditions in a while. Like the last time we had the W was like way back here. And what is that? Freaking March of last year. So having this and this consolidation looks really clean. Like I personally love seeing a nice clean double bottom. And if you can get a double bottom within a reload zone, with momentum signals pushing towards that same direction. Fuck
So
yeah.
what are you saying here, that we should go 10x or 100x?
No.
What are you betting? What are you betting? Tell me, what's your leverage at the moment?
I don't use leverage. Okay,
What's your leverage level? Tell us.
I buy on spots. I did get a very nice airdrop from Lighter.
That is
And then
bullshit.
I just pretty much re-rolled it all into Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, obviously, don't chase these levels up here, guys. Wait for the pullbacks, right? Like, what you can do now is like, on names that have been pumping, is like just draw your reload zone from like the current ranges. So you want to hunt from the lows there, hunt from the highs. If prices starts coming back down, and then all you're gonna do is look for the reload zones. That's kind of your best bets. Maybe the 38.2s. You can try to do those, but even if you do the reload zones, you're coming back right against these original breakouts. So that's kind of what you want to look for. Obviously, things are a little bit too late, but it could be it could just be the start of the season. With Bitcoin's trying to break out here. So
I mean, remember tax season was off. Like there's no tax season at the moment anymore. I think December was that. Trump got his Venezuela, so we have US dollars saved. Spending is going to go skyrocketing because oil is going to be so cheap.
Yeah. So like, dude, so like gold and oil, I think these are our two main plays right now, right? Just because of this like whole Venezuela thing. Obviously oil is going to be hot because like, Venezuela's got massive oil reserves, right? Like they claim it's like more than like Saudi Arabia. And then you look at like the chart, like we're like sitting right on a reload zone, right? We love these reload zones, 61.8 to 78.6. This is where you want to look for those longs. So as you can see, we like tagged it a couple times already, and we're just playing around here. So personally, I do think like we are trying to bottom here. I think oil is gonna probably pump once that double bottom confirms here. So you can like hunt like oil plays if you want. We can go look at like Chevron, for example, or whatever companies that you guys like. Actually, Chevron's probably too late. As you can see, it's already blast off. But yeah, like you can try to like look for oil plays, maybe some gold. I like gold. I think Agnical is one that I was hunting. So nice little base here that's been forming, little double bottoms and stuff. But yeah. Overall, pretty bullish. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, what else? I think this is gonna be good for our first show of the year. Just to have a green days and pretty positive about the outlook of the future.
Yeah, it's nice because man, Q4 of last year was rough. That was one of the roughest quarters that I had to deal with. So it's nice to see like nice strong start right out of the gates. Markets have it looks like it's bottomed in my opinion. So Let's see.
But okay, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the first episode. I know it wasn't that much more, but this Thursday, we're going to be going live again and hope to see you then.
Yes, sir. We'll
See you
see
again.
you all Thursday.